Hello and welcome to the AI with Arun Show. In this episode, we are diving into one of the most exciting and consequential battles in the technology sector, the fight for supremacy in the AI chip market between two semiconductor giants, Nvidia and Broadcom. This is not just a competition between two companies, it's a race to define the future of AI. Analysts are projecting this market will be worth a staggering $2 trillion by the year 2030. For years, Nvidia has been the undisputed king, currently holding about 80% of the market for AI training chips. But a powerful challenger has emerged in Broadcom, which is carving out a formidable niche in the world of custom chips. Over the next few minutes, we'll explore their different strategies, their financial strengths, and what the future might hold in this high stakes technological race. So let's get started. Let's start by looking at the sheer scale of these two titans. First, we have Nvidia with a market cap that is the total value of all its shares of $4.1 trillion. It's truly a behemoth in the industry. It's widely recognized as the undisputed leader in AI infrastructure. This is reflected in its massive Q2 revenue numbers of $46.7 billion with a B, which represents an incredible 56% increase from the previous year. Then we have Broadcom. While the valuation of $1.66 trillion is smaller than Nvidia's, it's by no means a small player and is a rapidly growing challenger. Its Q2 revenue was very healthy at $15.95 billion. What is particularly interesting is the growth within their AI-specific segment, which surged by 63% to reach $5.2 billion. Now, these numbers paint a clear picture. Nvidia is the massive established leader, but Broadcom is growing its AI business at an even faster rate, signaling a significant shift in the competitive landscape. So, how did Nvidia become so dominant? The answer, in a word, is CUDA. What is CUDA? It stands for Compute Unified Device Architecture. CUDA is NVIDIA's software platform. It allows developers to use NVIDIA's GPUs or graphics processing units for general purpose computing. For the past 20 years, NVIDIA has built an entire ecosystem around CUDA. Think of it as a business moat. This ecosystem creates what are known as switching costs. AI developers and researchers have spent years learning and building on CUDA. For them to switch to a different platform would be so difficult and expensive that it is considered almost unthinkable. This tight integration of software and hardware gives NVIDIA and has led to near universal adoption among AI developers. Their hardware, like the latest Blackwell architecture, is designed to excel at both training and inference, leveraging massive parallelism through thousands of computing cores to process immense amounts of data simultaneously. This CUDA mode is the foundation of NVIDIA's empire. And in case you have forgotten, CUDA stands for Compute Unified Device Architecture. So while NVIDIA built a fortress, Broadcom is leading a revolution with a different kind of chip, the custom ASIC. So ASIC stands for Application Specific Integrated Circuit, ASIC. Unlike a general purpose GPU, an ASIC or Application Specific Integrated Circuit is designed from the ground up to do one specific task extremely well. Broadcom is the leader in creating these custom AI chips for the world's biggest technology companies. And the advantages are compelling. For certain AI workloads, particularly inference, which we'll discuss next, these custom ASICs can deliver a staggering 75% in cost savings compared to NVIDIA's GPUs. They're also incredibly powerful or power efficient, consuming 50% less power for the same amount of work. That is why Broadcom has secured major partnerships with giants like Google for the TPUs, Meta for the custom accelerator, and Microsoft. Perhaps most notably, they recently signed a $10 billion with OpenAI, the creator of ChatGPT. These companies are turning to Broadcom to build a cheaper, more efficient alternative to NVIDIA's dominance. So to understand this battle, we have to understand the two core processes in AI. One is training and the other one is inference. So think of it like this. Training is like the teaching phase. It's like sending an AI model to school. It requires an enormous amount of data and computational power to learn a skill, like identifying images or understanding language. This is NVIDIA's fortress. With its 80 to 94% market share, high barriers to entry, and the CUDA ecosystem, it dominates the training market. Inference, on the other hand, is the execution phase. This is when the trained AI model is put to work in the real world. Every time you use a voice assistant, get a recommendation on Netflix, or use ChatGPT. NVIDIA's own CEO, Jensen Huang, has said that inference workloads will become 1 billion times larger than training. This market is more cost sensitive and is projected to be worth $255 billion by 2030. This is where Broadcom's custom ASICs shine and where the biggest battle for the future of AI will be fought. Now let's dig a little deeper into the financials with this chart. On the left, you see revenue, where NVIDIA's bar is significantly taller, reflecting its larger scale. The same is true for free cash flow, the actual cash a company generates. But the most insightful metric here is on the right, the forward price to earnings or the PE ratio. This ratio measures a company's current share price relative to its expected future earnings. A higher PE often suggests that investors are willing to pay more today because they expect a higher growth in the future. Despite NVIDIA's larger size, Broadcom actually commands a higher forward PE of 45.9 compared to NVIDIA's 42. This indicates that the market has immense confidence in Broadcom's future, believing its strategy will lead to superior cash generation and efficiency, even if its overall revenue is smaller today. So despite its dominance, NVIDIA is not without its challenges. First, there are geopolitical risks. Regulatory restrictions in China, specifically concerning NVIDIA's H2O chip, could impact revenues by as much as $2.5 billion. This highlights the risk of being heavily concentrated in certain geographical markets. Second is the very trend Broadcom is capitalizing on, ASIC competition. NVIDIA's biggest customers, the major cloud providers like Google and Meta, are increasingly developing their own custom chips, often in partnerships with Broadcom. This trend could threaten up to $12 billion of NVIDIA's revenue projected by 2026. These factors lead to the third challenge, which is the potential market share erosion. Some analysts predict that as custom chips gain popularity in the massive inference market, NVIDIA's overall AI compute share would fall from 80% today to as low as 40% by 2030. These dynamics are being reflected in the stock market. For the past year, Broadcom stock has delivered an exceptional 120% return, significantly outperforming the market. A huge part of this surge came right after the announcement of their partnership with OpenAI, which added about $200 billion to Broadcom's market value. NVIDIA's stock has also seen strong growth, with a 56% increase. However, its performance has trailed Broadcom's, and the stock has faced recent volatility, including a period of 6 straight days of decline following its latest earnings report. This suggests that while investors are still bullish on NVIDIA, concerns about the growing competition are starting to have an impact. So what does the future roadmap look like for this $2 trillion market? Right now, in 2025, we're seeing the current dynamics play out. NVIDIA dominates training, while Broadcom makes significant inroads in inference. By 2027, forecasts suggest that custom ASICs like those from Broadcom will capture about 20% of the entire inference market as the big cloud companies, known as hyperscalers, reduce their dependence on NVIDIA's GPUs. And by 2030, the AI chip market is expected to be worth between $295 billion and $453 billion annually. At that point, custom chips are projected to hold 30% of the inference market share. Now, here's a powerful projection. If Broadcom can capture just 20% of the total addressable AI market and NVIDIA manages to retain a 40% share, both stocks will potentially more than double their current levels over the next 3 years. This brings us to our conclusion. The battle for AI supremacy may not be a zero-sum game. NVIDIA's strength remain undeniable. Its dominance in the training market, its powerful CUDA software moat, and its superior scale and cash generation are formidable assets. At the same time, Broadcom has a massive opportunity. It's perfectly positioned to capture a huge slice of the rapidly growing inference market, though its cost advantages and deep partnership with the world's most influential tech companies. The reality is that The AI market is expanding so quickly that these two complementary strategies can likely coexist and thrive. The choice for investors and the industry may not be a binary one of Nvidia or Broadcom. The AI revolution is creating more than enough room for both of these giants to succeed in their respective domains. That brings us to the end of the show. Thank you for watching. Support our work by becoming a member. And in any case, we sincerely hope that you will like, share, and subscribe to the AI with Arun Show.